What's up everybody, Gankman here, and first of all I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers and to all the comments, the nice ones, the mean ones. I love them all, keep them coming. But I also want to apologize to you guys for uploading videos so slowly, but trust me, it's not by choice. I've been really busy in real life and at work, but that busy period is about to be over and we can fully focus on producing good videos for you guys. This specific video though is going to be about my macros because a lot of people have been asking about them. And the next video that is going to be coming out in a few days hopefully is going to be yet another PvP video, so stay tuned for that. The first macros I want to mention is my cancel form macros. So as people know, when you're in shadow form there's a lot of spells that you cannot use, the healing spells and the abolish disease for example. Now what you can do when you want to heal in PvP situation for example, you can remove your shadow form and then start to heal, but that takes too long. What you want to do is have a cancel form macro. Let's take flash heal for example. This is the important cancel form. This is gonna instantly cancel your form and then start casting flash heal. Alright, the next macro we're gonna talk about is one of my favorite macros for a priest, and it's the self-casting Dispell magic. It's gonna make you dispel yourself without losing your current target. So if, for example, if I'm fighting a mage and I have the mage as a target and he freezes me, with this macro I can dispel myself without having to target myself, without having to use an alt modifier or anything like that. I can just press one button, for me it's R, and it works like a trinket basically, especially against mages. Every time you get frozen as a Shadowpriest against mage, you need to dispel it. So this is an extremely fast and easy way to dispel, and it's also very nice to use against warlocks to easily dispel all the dots they put on you. Next we have the simplest macro but also the most important one, and it's my silence macro. What this macro does is that if you have a cast time going on, for example I started to cast my Mind Blast and I'm halfway through the cast and I see like a mage is trying to polymorph me at the same time for example, it's gonna cancel my Mind Blast casting and it's gonna instantly silence. Trust me, against good PvP players this is extremely strong, because a good PvP player will understand that okay, the guy is casting so I can freely cast too. There's no way he's gonna silence me while he's casting. That's why you actually catch them sleeping. They think you're casting, or you may be channeling your mind flay and they're like, there's no way he's gonna silence me mid-cast. There's no way he's gonna interrupt his cast and silence me. Well, I definitely do. And it's very powerful. This is how you hit your silences and interrupt perfectly to lock them out of their school of magic. The next macro I'm gonna show you is my Devouring Plague macro. So this is only gonna work with Undead Priest. In PvP, you never ever want to cast this on its own. The only time you're gonna cast this in PvP is combined with Inner Focus. Because Inner Focus, there's not a lot of skills as Shadow to use with Inner Focus. The only skill you can benefit Inner Focus from and get the crit chance, the 25% crit chance, is Mind Blast. But it is way more efficient to use it on Devouring Plague in PvP. In PvE you're never ever gonna use Devouring Plague. But in PvP, now we're gonna take a look at the most ghetto macro I have. Okay, this is my Trinket macro. What this macro does is that it's gonna be using whatever trinket I'm equipping right now. And I know you can use like use character slot 16 or something like that, which is way more efficient to do a macro with, but I just put on all the macros that I have. As soon as I get a new unused macro, I just add him to the list. And what this does is that with a single press of the button I can use any trinket that I have equipped. Right now I have the Net-O-Matic equipped and I can change, I have my macros right here. So right now I have the Net-O-Matic, and when I press this button right here, it's gonna be using my Net-O-Matic. Next we have my Net-O-Matic macro. As you guys know, the Gnomish Net-O-Matic projector can backfire, and when it backfires it's either gonna root you in place or it's gonna teleport you to the target and root you in place. So the purpose of this macro is using a free action potion before using the Net-O-Matic, meaning that you can never ever be affected by the backfire effects of the trinkets. Alright, next up we have my heal stealth macro, also known as my oh shit macro. I actually really like this macro. What this does is that it's gonna be using the Gnomish cloaking device to put me in stealth or invisible. It's gonna cancel my form, it's gonna cast Renew on myself, and it's gonna be using a healing potion all at the same time with one press of the button. This is an oh shit macro, and when you use this, it can literally turn the fight into your favor. This doesn't only work for Shadowpriest, it also works for Druid. You just remove the Renew and instead you put Rejuvenate. Okay. Next we have my Fear Bandage macro. In PvP it's all about being efficient and quick to use your skills, and this macro is gonna help me do that. What this macro does, it's a cast sequence macro that it's gonna, on the first use, cast Psychic Scream, and on the second use it's gonna use Heavy Runecloth Bandage. Here's the macro, like keep an eye on it. I'm gonna really quickly press it 2 times and you're gonna see how quickly it's gonna veer into a bandage. Okay, get ready. 3, 2, 1, boom. Like there's nothing faster. That is so insanely fast. And you'll even have some times when you have your PvP set to cast a spell, because you'll still have 1 second left of the fear. Alright everybody, this is the end of the video. If you're still watching this video 8 minutes in with my terrible English, you are a goddamn trooper, and I really appreciate it. I hope you learned something from this video. I hope you get yourself a new macro, and the next video is gonna be a PvP video, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.